Hi, welcome back. It's your favorite wellness coach. And today's topic is all about the antioxidant economy. So stick around if you want me to power up your brain with a lot of context about antioxidants. Because in today's day and age, antioxidants are known to fight cancer and many other symptoms of aging. Okay, I'm Annick and I'm about to share my screen with you and go through some content from my blog. Remember, like, share, and subscribe to my channel and check out my website, mygreenbalance.com. Okay, here's my website, and we love it. The Antioxidant Economy. So this is part of one of my blogs that I have written because I am a firm believer in the benefits of antioxidants for several reasons, and it's one of my favorite topics to talk about when it comes to health and wellness. Okay, the reason why I love antioxidants from a nutritionist perspective, I like to give you the thinking method that nutrition scientists use for life sciences so that you can think a little clearer when it comes to how you nourish your mind and your body on a cellular level. Okay, because that's how antioxidants work through you ingesting foods containing a high antioxidant profile, working through in your DNA cells, quenching free radicals that can otherwise turn into cancer. So, the more antioxidants you put into your body, the more these old cells are getting quenched and eliminated from the body through antioxidant intake internally. Okay. All right. So this is where we begin. Why antioxidants are becoming the new currency in wellness. We're going to look at this from a wellness tech angle. If you know me, you know I'm into AI and making systems for business owners more efficient using tools of AI as software and services to maximize outreach and business growth while minimizing extra wasted energy that could be better managed and directed in a more productive way. We love technology here and we love wellness. All right, so every era has its currency. Industrial economies traded in oil. Digital economies trade in data. The emerging wellness economy trades in something far more fundamental, oxidative balance. At mygreenbalance, we call this shift the antioxidant economy, a global revaluation of health where resilience, cellular protection, and longevity have become measurable, investable, and strategically managed assets. From calories to cellular protection. For decades, we framed nutrition around calories, macros, and weight. You may have even noticed it was all about diets and what diet trend is happening and what diet should the season adhere to follow. And we realized a lot of diets did not work long term. We realized as nutrition scientists that it was all about lifestyle change. That is where we are at today. There are a variety of diets on the planet. One size does not fit all. Therefore, we need more personalized approaches when it comes to treating each human body, even in populations and communities. Still remembering that each person's DNA are pretty unique. is pretty unique. Okay, so we are looking at the model is rapidly becoming obsolete from the past, where it was just about calories in, calories out, and diet trends. Now it is very much how are people feeling after digestion? Are people calm in their tummies? Are the nutrients being assimilated into the cells properly? Many people, as they go through the aging process, or as we all go through the aging process, a lot of our enzymes that are secreted through the pancreas begin to deteriorate in strength. And what happens is food is consumed and is not always digested and put into the cells in the most efficient manner, meaning those enzymes are not accurately transporting the proteins, the fats, and the carbs into the cells, and a lot of nutrients are moving through the body unabsorbed. And this is due to aging and enzyme production. Many people do need to check in to see how are my enzymes functioning? Do I need a supplement to help absorb the nutrients being consumed? And that is the process of what happens after digestion at the cellular level. And that level where oxidative stress silently determines the rate of aging, the inflammation load, cognitive performance, immune resilience, and recovery capacity. Oxidative stress is the biological cost of modern life. Pollution, stress, poor sleep, overtraining, travel, processed food. Antioxidants are the counterbalance. They are no longer nice to have, they are protective capital. So this is our fun twist on antioxidants being a new currency. Now, you may have heard me talk in my previous vlogs from last year about currencies and global economies. That was a little more serious in terms of how I designed a thesis to run on using our insurance platforms to have higher returns on interest so that, for example, in those portfolios, instead of by the time you're 60 or 50, you get however many million from your monthly savings, you can acquire, or I can acquire, or we can acquire through consensus that maybe each 5 years of each human life, a million is transferred strategically through optimized saving and interest return protocols. I feel like that is a really good solution. And when I looked at it from the Sims research that I did and SimCity building, in my opinion, that was a legitimate solution to a growing economy that was faced with a few challenges of how to evolve into the next era. This, however, about antioxidants being a new currency is a little more playful and fun because, yes, I do value it a lot as a health professional and life scientist, and I think you should also. But in terms of a conversation, it's a little more fun on words because antioxidants are not really going to be a currency unless you really do put in the biometric data where, you can get into places based on your fingertips and your body scans in terms of how youthful you are or how beautiful you are. And that gives you currency to enter into certain spaces or make purchases as a form of currency. Unless you were able to translate that into a transactional approach, I don't see how it would be anything other than a fun conversation. But if the way of sales is moving in that direction and people were able to legitimize these new types of currencies for access of purchasing and anything VIP clubs and whatnot, then I would be interested in following up with that and chatting with whoever makes those rules on a global scale. Because energy is a form of currency, I do believe that energy does have a form of currency. For example, when a healthy person enters a room, naturally the energy of the room feels a whole much different. There's a feel of a more light embodiment and more vivacious feel to when a sick or unhealthy person walks into a room where you can feel a difference in the energy system, which you can tell from reading on life science where a person may be healthy or unhealthy based on their energy feel, right? And humans are pretty tuned into being pretty intuitive and aware to sense a shift in if a healthy person walks in, you feel that sense of health power, if I may. Interesting conversation. Okay. When it comes to antioxidants functioning as biological insurance, that's pretty interesting. And we're saying they neutralize free radicals before the damage compounds, which preserves tissue, cognition, and metabolic efficiency. And this is real and on a cellular level. So in the antioxidant economy, high antioxidant intake equals higher functional capacity. Low oxidative stress equals better decision making and energy stability. Cellular protection equals longevity leverage. This is why elite wellness protocols increasingly prioritize polyphenols, flavonoids, and micronutrients over sheer volume of food. Quality by far outperforms quantity. That was one of the biggest takeaways I ever learned from studying in life sciences because you can really understand that while many of us from birth as a human collective have been brought up in a way of, being birthed out the birth canal, held as a baby, breastfed, and put to sleep until bottle feeding and put to sleep, many humans have been raised to consume a large amount of milk, food, nutrients, and then to be put to sleep. And what we notice through the health lens and health perspective is going to sleep on a full stomach is not healthy, for example. And it is important to have a more mature manner of eating that is focused a lot more on the quality, more so than the quantity. Because we are in a time of mass overconsumption, we can acknowledge that there is room for many of us to switch it up and choose better portions, for example, as a start. The rise of measurable wellness. What elevates antioxidants from trend to currency is measurement. Wellness is no longer based on intuition alone. Lab-grade tools are entering private homes, allowing individuals to quantify oxidative stress and intervene early. The earlier you can diagnose a condition, the sooner you can cure it, solve it, or get the right doctors and medication for every ailment. And that is extremely important in today's age, especially as we are in the business of saving lives. At home oxidative stress testing kits. I'm not sure on the market what are the exact testing kits available to each doctor and professional and where we have reached in terms of diagnostics. For example, there are clinics around the world and medical centers and hospitals that will send you home testing kits that you then send your data and materials on what they ask to be tested under microscopes, where under those microscopes you can see things like blood on a cellular level and look at all the particles. I used to love looking at those microscopic home testing kits. You could used to like prick your finger with some blood, put it on a slide, read the blood. Did anybody else do those kind of science things? Anyway, so who knows where we've reached in 2026? But the fact is that it's a smart movement to I fully am backing that sort of style that every human yearly, whether you go to the doctor, whether you get a home delivery kit, whether it's uh invasive via, pricks on your fingers for blood testing, saliva, etc., etc., or more so biometric or AI scanning that can tell you where you're at with, an internal diagnostic protocol. I find it all relevant and a great idea because then you can get the right supplements, medications, and treatments sooner than living in a painful state or your clothes not fitting you based on swelling and inflammation or your body digestion not working efficiently or having severe stomach cramps, migraines, the normal things a lot of humans suffer from, different circulatory conditions. I could go on. And we want to look to achieve more insight into the baseline oxidative load, the impact of diet, travel, stress, and training on the human body, different environments around the world, climate, effectiveness of antioxidant strategies over time. These shifts antioxidants from abstract benefit to tracked asset. You cannot optimize what you cannot measure. And that is why these tools and toolkits are a great idea so that you can measure accurately. As nutritionists and life scientists, we see food as functional defense. We do see prevention more than cure, even though that is not the popular route, and many people avoid the preventative care to overspend on cure. Where we are at is if you can see ahead of time that no matter any light dent you put into preventative care will still give you benefits by time you reach into cure care, you will understand that there is a great return on that investment and it is highly recommended in this day and age. Okay. In the antioxidant economy, food is no longer categorized as healthy or unhealthy. It is evaluated by protective density. Top tier antioxidant sources like berries, teas, deeply pigmented plants, herbs, and fermented compounds. There is even some in red wine. There is some in, green tea. I recommend white tea a lot because of the antioxidant profile. Blueberries, of course. They are not really valued for calories, but for their ability to reduce systemic inflammation, protect neural tissue, support liver and detox pathways, stabilize blood sugar under stress. Blueberries, in particular, have become emblematic of this shift, combining accessibility, scientific validation, and broad biological impact. When we look at wellness tech as the exchange layer, technology is what is turning antioxidants into currency. By combining the lab test kits, the wearable stress data, nutrition tracking platforms. So the Aura Ring is very popular today, the Apple Watches. And the reason why is because these technologies are tracking your heart rate, they are tracking your sleeping pattern, they're tracking your calories, they are tracking a lot of data metrics and that you can feed your personal data. And with that data gathering, you are then able to get direct insight into your decision-making process so that you can take the right actions, routines, and habits that support your health, wellness, and longevity. And that kind of data to us is extremely valuable. When it comes to adjusting nutrition and supplementation in real time. This is important because many consumers go out into the supplement shops and have no idea what supplement to buy for their condition. Many consumers are lost in the world of health and wellness, and they want to spend their money. They want good products, they want the right recommendations. But unless you have the proper recommendations, it is overwhelming for the majority of consumers who are ready to budget and spend, but are confused as to what product really works to solve what condition. The prevention of the decline is important instead of reacting to symptoms. So you don't want to think, all right, I'm aging, I'm going to get Alzheimer's and dementia, and react to those symptoms when you can say, let me get the right supplements to boost my cognitive function and make sure I'm taking the right measures to ensure that I am able to have the correct spatial awareness, mobility, function, flexibility, in addition to the right supplements for an aging process. Because again, you get to decide today. I invite you today. Look at yourself in the mirror, look at your body, take a scan. Decide right now, will you be a person that is going to age and die in a home or with a caregiver, or will you be walking and active and resting and eating healthy until that last breath? God granted, that is the natural path of life that you have been selected to take to your last breath. You decide right now, and I invite you to decide that, okay? Because that will tell you how you're going to decide to go grocery shopping or how you will order meals for yourself or for your family. And if that will be where you will invest and how you see the value on the rate of investment. Okay, so I invite you to just picture your future for 1 second and make a clear decision as to how you feel you would like that process to go, given that if there's nothing in the world you can control other than yourself, it is what you eat. Okay? That's your first step. How you consume and what you consume might be the only thing on this planet that you have control over, at bare minimum. All right, so you want to track your wellness progress like financial performance. You want to be strict. That is where the health and wealth are the perfect match, because the same way you track your budget, your expenses, your income, your savings, your family's fund, and your extracurriculars and hobbies and how you spend as a person in society and how you manage your financial portfolio with whatever you buy, save, invest, and your income, which is not a guessing game. It is strategic, especially if you have a good education and you have put the correct routines and habits in place. and you have access to the right clubs. The same thing is with your health. So, what are you subscribed to in your email list? What are you following? Are you following health channels that will motivate you to exercise better? Are you prioritizing your movement on a regular basis? Are you prioritizing making sure you get in many healthy foods, antioxidants in the right doses per week, per month, per quarter, per year to ensure you're getting a good return on every single meal investment that you consume? Return being more energy, return being better sleep, return being no stomach cramps, return being healthy blood flow, return being better retention of information in your brain, better cognitive function, return being more calm in your nervous system because you are consuming the right nutrients in the right portions for your personal body, right? So the more data you have about how are your kidneys working, how is your heart working, how are your lungs functioning, how is your stomach digesting, how is your blood flowing, how are your arteries processing all the blood flow, how is the inflammation going? The more data you have, the more strategic you can consume your foods as medicine or at least a supplement to a healthy, balanced diet and lifestyle. Okay? So at mygreenbalance, we believe in investing in biological resilience and anti-aging. So many of the decisions we make for our human bodies and how we recommend to you, our group, our network, our society, our membership club, are for you to have the same perks and benefits because we are so excited about the benefits of anti-aging. We don't want to be 90 years old alone with energy. We want people to hang out with. So that is why we are so passionate about this because if we're gonna live healthily, it would be more fun if there were more people also living healthily. You know what I mean? So that's why you should join too. And we believe the future of wellness belongs to those who think in systems. Okay? Antioxidants are not trends, they are infrastructure. They protect the body the way capital protects enterprises, quietly, consistently, and compounding over time. So the anti-aging ingredient is usually antioxidants, and you can look it up, find more research that backs up foods that slow down the rate of aging, all include a high antioxidant profile, fight cancer, antioxidant, reduce inflammation, antioxidants. We always want to think along those lines. We are big fans of juicing, getting those nutrient boosts straight to the bloodstream, getting those vitamins in. We love all of that. And we are seeing now the whole shift of the entire planet is moving towards these biohacking breakfast clubs. There are now DJs in coffee shops because everyone has families and kids now, and husbands and wives, and the family life is such a huge part and building block of society. Everyone is valuing sleep more and more. So bed early, waking up at sunrise. And what do you want to do at sunrise? You're going to get a coffee at a coffee shop with a DJ and your kids. Because guess what? Babies wake up early. And that is the way that social is moving. And that is because the younger generation are just not interested in alcohol. They are extremely health conscious and they love health and wellness. And this, my amazing community, makes sense because it keeps all of us younger to also adhere to these metrics, right? So we can see the benefits of these routines and adjust accordingly. And I mean, now even the new business meeting rooms are happening in saunas, infrared saunas, health clubs. All the elite health clubs are where all the meetings are going down. Who's doing business together? It's all health and wellness. What golf club membership are you having? What health spa club do you go to, especially when you travel? And who is there? Who are you meeting up with? You're all going for green juice and a sauna, and that is the new cool. Okay, it's no longer bottle service and, spending racks there. It's okay, how much are we spending on our health club membership? How much are we spending on our anti-aging biohacking technology? How much are we spending on Pilates, not nightclubs and tables? That is what the data is showing us based on the younger generations. And of course, we keep up with the youth, right? Because whatever they're doing, we're doing. Okay? And that is another way that we keep our anti-aging protocol in check. All right, so superfood recipes, cutting edge health data. This is the wellness tech angle where we get health dashboards integrating diet, sleep, and mood tracking. Yes, even now, females, I don't know what the male version is, but all females are tracking their cycles and their moods on the female apps. You're getting more and more data to learn your biochemistry each year as technology becomes more intelligent. And it's exciting because it gives you real-time data to biohack your own biology and reduce free radical damage that can be detrimental long term. And we, as the emerging wellness economy, trade in something far more fundamental, oxidative balance. Okay. All right. So this is a little reiteration as we go along. The main takeaway for you today is educate yourself, share this video with your family or loved ones. If you want to be one of those longevity people on our team, flexible and mobile in our 90s, if you share that same goal, you're in the right space. Thank you for being here. Thank you for sharing your time, space, and energy with me. And remember, health is indeed a wellness managed portfolio if done right. And together, we are stronger than if we are apart. So the more we come together to remind our group that we share similar values, if you share that value of health and wellness is very important to us, then you're in the right place because that is what we are all about here at mygreenbalance. Health and wellness is extremely a top value for us that it's one of our non-negotiables, and that is okay as society shifts because in a community, if you're invited to 3 events and you have to prioritize yourself, your longevity, your family's health and wellness, and of all 3 events, one of them will take you in the direction of longevity because that's an ingrained value system for you. That is where you say yes. Because if it's going to take you in a different direction, you're more likely to turn it down. And yes, that might disrupt a few relationships, maybe temporarily, because it is a different value system. And that's okay because it has to work for you and your family and your longevity because you're the one living in your vehicle of a body, right? We get one body through this human experience. You get to live in there. What kind of car is your body and what kind of fuel do you put in it? Because we know that if you have a very nice car, you cannot put certain fuels in it because it will destroy the engine. Okay? And that is facts. And I invite you to see your body more so like the luxury vehicle of your dreams and to care for it with the right fuel in that manner more regularly, okay? Because it is so easy for humans to go down a path of eating way too many fried foods and refined flours and junk food and way too much on the artificial junk and processed sugars and chemical ingredients that long term deteriorate the engines, if I could put it that way. Okay, so what we want is a well-preserved, well-kept vehicle that strategically even increases in abilities as we age, which we are studying in the life science community heavily. All right, so thank you so much for sharing this space today. I hope that you are inspired to consider your longevity train journey. And congrats for staying through the whole video if you're in this movement and you get to experience this new vivacious life experience and add some years to your life with the antioxidant rich recommendations that we have for you. Until next time and our next episode, send a comment if there are any topics that you wish for us to discuss further. We really enjoy sharing our research and studies with you and making an impact in any way for you and your family that can be valuable and can add some more quality time, life, and love into your community and your family space. So again, if you've ever invested into our mygreenbalance community, thank you so much. We really appreciate you. We really appreciate every member. We have over 2,500 subscribed members. And yes, we would like to get our email list up and running again. A lot has shifted since me moving to Trinidad, as I was operating through Barbados for the last 7 years. I'm now moving into my second year of living in Trinidad and adjusting accordingly, where it's a lot more hands-on. However, I do value so much the online keeping in contact email messaging space that I hope we have something up and running for you. But until then, we're here on YouTube, more so with video and audio messages than emails. So I hope that you stick around and you stay with us because we love bringing you little love messages to your inbox and sending you messages of health and wellness for your future healthiest self and wishing you all the best for you and your family and community and hope to meet with you soon in the future in person. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.